All right, well, welcome everyone to the first game of Anarchs of Chicago. Thank you very much for joining and for becoming my players so I can torture you all.
Do I introduce ourselves?
Yeah, go for it. Introduce yourselves.
What up, gamers? I'm Joe. Why is he hating on me already, dude? I'm Joe Jotaro. You can find me at twitch.tv/Joe Jotaro, and I game every other day. And on Fridays, I play with my best friend Z-Raider.
Aw.
Subtle plug, dude. Subtle plug.
Subtle plug.
God, it's like I'm in school. Introduce yourself. No, I don't want to.
That is the cynical voice of Z-Raider Z.
My name's Elwin.
All right.
There you go.
I'm not going to promote my Twitch.
He's at Aaron Music at twitch.tv/Aaron Music.
Alright.
You're wrong.
Congratulations. Jesus.
We're not even started and it's already devolved into chaos.
Well, you know,
I like chaos. Very pretty fun.
And that is Alistair Steer, which comes from Alistair Grout from Bloodlines. All right.
Yes, it does. Yeah, I'm cool. That's it. Pretty cool.
You don't need anything else than that. Just I'm cool. All right. So we're all ready to start and play a vampire game.
Right.
To Session 0, Live and Die in Chicago. So let me just get some ambience going. Chicago, a city where dreams can come true. Chicago, Chicago, that toddling town, a wonderful town. Chicago is a jewel of many sides, each offering different flavors for people to explore. People move to their own beat. Hundreds of thousands of little cogs marching through the city, each with their own lives and stories. Chicago is a machine, a cacophony of sound and motion, reaching from the smallest cog going upwards to the looming skyscrapers of downtown. Zoom into any part of the city and you'll see different cogs within the vast machine. Go to the south side and you will see anything from small housing projects to upper class abodes. The streets scarred by the gang wars of the present and the past. Go to west side and you'll see the colloquially named Medical Corridor, a row of medical centres and hospitals stretching across the I-290. You also see a lush green in that area, earning the West Side's moniker of the city in a garden. In contrast, you see downtown, a monument to corporations with looming oppressive skyscrapers reaching towards the heavens. There is a place for everyone in Chicago. As long as you know how to play the game, you can make it anywhere. So, there's going to be a lot of talking for me for the start part, just to sort of set things up, but that was just a little basis set up for Chicago. But we open our story a mere few hours before sunset. The sun is beginning to crest below Lake Michigan's horizon, making the sky auburn. The year is 2019, society seemingly on the precipice of boiling over during a tense climate. In the back of the yards where trains stop by the station lays a small disused warehouse, one which was bought by a small-time cybersecurity firm run by a young man named Ace. Inside the warehouse sits Ace's office. A ramshackle of paperwork, discarded takeaway bags surround the 26-year-old. He's busy on his computer, monitors surround him, spilling out amber code on the black backdrops. The windows around him boarded up. Ace likes the dark. The brightness surrounding him during daytime is almost a distraction to his focus. Sitting next to his keyboard is a flyer, one from Chicago University Student Association for a rally that is set to take place tonight at the university grounds. A protest/quasi-festival for the students and faculty to rally against the university for recent budget cuts, cutting a number of programs and staff members. Musical superstar Fanny Fannin is there to play. This wasn't exactly Ace's scene, but he'd taken up a case recently. Usually his services are reserved for companies in terms of cybersecurity, but as a favor for his friend in the CIA, Daryl Hammer, he spoke to a desperate old Hispanic lady, Lola Rivera. In between sobs, she relayed the story of her missing granddaughter, Araceli Rivera, or Celia, as she went by. Out of kindness from his heart, he went forth cyber sleuthing to track this missing girl down. She was a student at Chicago University, and disturbingly, her roommates Liz Boscher and Eve Kelly were found dead in their apartment, dried blood covering the walls of their living room and their bodies emptied of blood. No sign of the wayward Celia. Tracking her proved to be difficult as her phone went dead not long after she disappeared a few weeks ago. But something bugged Ace. There was something in the Chicago University. Finding on the dark web some relay chats, he found references to something called the Eternal Academy within the university. One of them even mentioning recruiting a new person called Celia Rivers around the same time the girl went missing. He saw something about a philosopher or philosophy department before his presence was noticed and the chat went dead. They were speaking in some sort of code that was very hard to decipher. This skull and bone society and timing was too coincidental for Ace to ignore. Plus, after a night out drinking with Daryl, he let it slip that the CIA were investigating something huge in Chicago University. Could this something huge be the Eternal Academy? Either way, a feeling in Ace's gut told him that tonight could be an opportunity to scope out the university, get some malware in their system and see what else he can dig up, earn points for the CIA and perhaps bring closure to a grieving grandmother. As Ace put the finishing touches on his hacking hardware, he looked down at the clock. Nearly sundown. He was running out of time. Soon he had to pick up his date for the evening from Lincoln Park, a young woman called Thea Noel McCrane. They had met once before during one of Ace's nights out. Admittedly, he doesn't remember much about the night, but he does remember having a good time. After a quick shower and getting changed, Ace gathers his things. What does he take? And more importantly, what is his plan? So, what are you taking with you?
I'm taking a USB drive.
Yeah, with the hardware, with the malware on it, I'm guessing?
Right.
Yep. You're not going to take anything else with you?
Taking my gun.
Yep, thought so. Let's see.
And I'm leaving my... I'm also taking my badge.
Yep. USB drive. Gun. Okay. Cool. And so you head out of your warehouse abode. What is it? Just out of curiosity, what does the area look like? Because I mentioned that there's an office in there. Is it quite spacious, or have you just kind of made everything into one little corner? What is your little house, your home look like?
So the warehouse itself, it just looks like an empty warehouse, quiet, almost destitute, and there's one big sliding like metal door where you could pull. It's very inconspicuous, where that's pretty much all my things are at. My equipment, everything hiding, pretty much. So inside of that looks pretty much high-tech-ish, but everywhere else in the warehouse looks like desolate, dilapidated. And all my, traps and everything's like hidden, everything, so you can't really tell. If you're just there, you walk in there, you won't notice anything. But if you're someone who's very insightful, you could probably see some stuff. Like you probably would notice things there.
Sliding door. All right, so you pull open the sliding door and lock behind you. I assume you lock it with a it doesn't even have a lock.
Button.
Oh, you've got a button. Cool. So you push the button, it opens, and you push the button again to close behind you as you make your way out to the street towards your car. And you mentioned that you had a car. What kind of make is this vehicle?
I'm not entirely sure with familiar vehicles, but it is a Ford Mustang. I think it's 20. Well,
an old Ford Mustang? Wait, is there any new Ford Mustangs? I don't know much about vehicles here. So like a 70s
it's a
Mustang.
1965 Mustang, but I souped it up to have some modern tech in it.
Cool. All right, you put the keys in the engine, turn it on, and you hear the engine purr loud as it backfires as you drive off. The sun is beginning to set, and we move from there to the east side of Chicago, where Calumet River lays, and the Calumet water reclamation plant. The channel of water feeds into Lake Michigan. Many of the city's Nosferatu call this area home, but within one of the canals in a pipe leading to the city's sewers is a hidden room, one that Elena Leclerc calls home, at least for now. Elena doesn't get out much, far preferring the quiet and solitude of her abode. Here she can do work, find peace from the noise of the outside world. Plus, many homeless wander around the area, perfect as to not raise attention with her endeavors. Death is a beautiful thing, one that those afflicted with the curse of mortality do not understand. But tonight, Elena's work will have to wait. For tonight, one of the other subjects of her fixation requires focus. Fanny Fannin is set to play at some rally in Chicago University tonight. She detests being out with people. Hiding in shadows isn't exactly new for her, however. Perhaps tonight she can finally muster the courage to talk to the superstar, or maybe she'll stay in the shadows as she does every other time the opportunity has presented herself. As Elena wakes from her daytime slumber, what is your waking routine? What does your haven look like, and what is your plan of action for tonight?
So my haven looks like a very creepy place. There's no decoration. It's like kind of a cave with all my endeavor, like you said. I don't know if I can describe what's there or no.
It's up to you.
Right now.
Up to you if you want to describe what's there, if you want to skip that.
Okay, so Elena experiments scienting stuff on animals in a not very cool way, but that's her hobby. And so there's a lot of tables with the experiment she made, and so it's very creepy, very bloody. It reeks of dead bodies. And when she wakes up, the first thing she does is drink a bed of blood, and then start all her day on experimenting. That's all she does most of the time. And her plans for the day is to maybe get out and actually manage to see Fanny Fannin if she can.
One thing I did forget to do is every kindred here, so that is James, T, and Elena, you all have to, can you roll me a d10 each? So you do that just on the side, there should be like a bunch of options. There'll be like a dice option, and just click on the d10 button and that should pop up in the chat. This will be determining your starting hunger.
Can I just manually type /roll d?
Oh, you can. Yeah, you can just manually type /roll1. Yeah, I just couldn't remember off the top of my head how to manually type it. All right.
So roll d10.
Oh, Joe, you don't have to worry about it. You're not a vampire yet.
I was just testing it. I never used this thing.
Oh,
Sorry.
it's roll. Okay, roll d10.
Okay. So... All right.
Very well.
So, Aaron, T, you have 1 hunger. So you start. So just on your character sheet, scroll down to the bottom and make sure it's just 1 hunger. James, you have 3 hunger. You're a hungry boy. And Elena, you have 3 hunger as well.
Where do you
Sorry,
put
just
that?
give me a second. Just give me a second.
It's it's right at the bottom of the core page.
Okay. Return anger 3. Okay, thank you. That's a lot of anger.
Yeah, sorry. Were you asking how to do that?
Aaron told me how to do
Okay,
it.
cool. All right, so yeah, you wake up, and you drink a little bit of your animal blood that you've got in a fridge somewhere, like a little mini fridge, I'm assuming. And let me have a look how much that's going to. Okay, yeah, you can take off one of your hungers by drinking that animal blood at the start.
Okay, so I can go back to core and remove one.
Yep, remove one.
Okay.
Okay. So yeah, you're basically going to be doing some more experiments with animals before you head off.
Yeah.
That's cool. All right. Meanwhile, we are going to move over to Lawndale. Daytime slumber for the undead is usually an empty abyss, a void of oblivion where you are devoid of feeling and external stimulation. For T. O'Sullivan, in Lawndale, that is not always the case. Of course, he doesn't yet have the gift of the blood, the sight beyond sight, but he does feel whispers, the strings of his subconscious plucked by a mysterious web weaver. During his daytime slumber, he was assaulted with flashing imagery of an old pottery, a school, a brooding philosopher looking over a kingdom of ruin, shadows, a boy. Well, he was called a boy, but in truth, the man looked no older than O'Sullivan himself. Upon awaking this night, he has one taste in the back of his throat, a lingering and burning desire, one that even overrides his obsession itself. Find and save the boy. Who is the boy? O'Sullivan has no clue. Where was the boy? Well, if O'Sullivan had to guess from the images, ancient Greece. But unless he had access to a time machine, that wasn't happening. Or perhaps he was to travel back in time. He did watch a movie once where people went back in time in a hot tub. Maybe he had to find a hot tub. No, that's ridiculous. A hot tub can't be a time machine. Hollywood fiction at its finest. A DeLorean or phone booth, that's the answer. No, wait, neither of those things are in fashion these days. What to do? O'Sullivan's mind was racing all different directions, obsessing over what the message meant. What was he meant to do? He could yell at the void for an answer, hoping the void answered back, but he wasn't sure it would, or even if it did, that the right person would pick up the phone. How does O'Sullivan decipher the cryptic message in his head? How does he find out where he is needed to go?
That was a question, yeah. You want me to answer?
Yeah.
I think for T, the most striking part of that was the philosopher looking over. Was it a city of ruin that you said, or some sort of ruin?
A kingdom of ruin.
Kingdom of ruin. So I think T will obsess over the philosopher part of that statement. I think he will try to find a philosopher.
Eating and doing this is not exactly the greatest thing to do. Okay, so you think about it for a moment, you think philosopher, and then you just snap your fingers. Yes, there's a philosopher, there's like a philosophy unit in the University of Chicago. Maybe that's where you need to go.
Sure.
Finally, with the answer, or some semblance of the answer in mind, how do you venture forth to complete the Stringweaver's will? Do you go straight there, or do you dabble in other things?
I'm going to go straight there like my life depends on it.
Okay.
Bon appétit.
Okay. Okay. So you head there. Just a quick question, since I've been asking everyone, what does your haven look like?
Sorry, you cut out there for a second. What did you say?
Just because I've been asking everyone, what does your haven look like?
I was writing that whilst you were introducing me. It's a very small, decrepit apartment. It's probably in some sort of apartment complex right at the end. Let's say it's a one-floor apartment complex. It's right at the end of the hallway, right beside the cupboard, the cleaning cupboard. It's very, very disorganized. Entering the room, you can see there's barely anything at all. There's random posters strewn across the room, all disorganized, all mismatching, all completely out of line. None of them are OCDly put in place, let's put it that way. There's a bed, small single bed. It's made, but it's made very, very poorly. There is a small table next to the kitchen part of the apartment, and you can see that there's literally just clothing and old food just sitting on the table.
Cool. All right. So with that, with one final look at your apartment as you kind of scan it, you make your way out. I assume you don't have a vehicle, do you?
I do not.
Okay. I assume you're just going to take the, you're either going to take a bus or you're going to take the, I think it's called the Pedway, the Chicago train system. I assume you're just going to public transport, pretty much, is what that all falls under.
I was going to suggest sprinting down the streets like a madman. That's a better idea.
All right. And so as T leaves his apartment, we pull back to a lion yawning within his enclosure in Chicago Zoo, letting out a weak roar as the sky darkens. The lion rests its head, ready for slumber. Deep down below the zoo, however, within the labyrinthine walkways that the zoo handlers travel daily, there is an inconspicuous door. What lays behind this door, nobody ever thought to question. Perhaps one of the many janitorial closets, but even the janitors don't know. Interestingly enough, nobody has a key to this door, and so the door would forever be forgotten, fading to the backdrop of the homogenized grey corridors. Little did they know, however, that the room beyond this door housed the true king of this jungle, James Bax. The blood reaches James's limbs, reanimating the corpse for yet another night. He stretches and gets up from his sleeping quarters. Surveying his surroundings of his haven, what does he see?
You can see the 2 cells right away. Everything would just be stolen goods everywhere. Be poorly lit, obviously.
Yep.
That's about it.
Poorly lit. And then the 2 cells. Okay. You heard, James, through some casual Anarch contacts in Chicago, that there is some kind of rally happening tonight, happening in Chicago University. The university is rife with Kami corruption, according to these fellow Anarchs. One of the barons, Genghis, has plans to disrupt the Kami schemes there. You are to meet at the Mohawk pub. Gathering your things, you throw on some janitorial overalls, which I'm assuming is part of the ramshackle of random clothing around. You throw them on to traverse through the zoo incognito so that nobody really questions why this random guy is here. So you just become another one of these janitorial staff. As you get outside, you see a mangy, scruffy stray waiting outside, your loyal companion. Does your loyal companion have a name?
Yeah, Scout.
Scout. Yeah. So you get Scout together, and are you going to take Scout with you, or are you just going to leave Scout behind?
No, he'll stay at the haven.
Okay. So yeah, you tell Scout to stay. He kind of puts his head to the side and just like, and you're just like, no, stay. And he obeys, and you continue on. Meanwhile, Ace, you're driving towards the Lincoln Park area. It's a very well-to-do area of Chicago with lots of rich people that live here. And you wait, car sitting idly by, for Thea, your date tonight. You're not sure why you asked Thea out to join you, considering you're doing work, but it kind of felt like the right thing. And the more you start thinking about it, the more you're like, hang on, you don't really know this person that well. Why are you there? And before you can question it even anymore, Thea walks out, and this is what she looks like. Give me 1 second to get some character art out.
I get a picture out.
Yeah, you can get a picture.
All right, time to simp.
Oh my god. Joy is out. Hide your
You
face.
put a picture in Discord or?
Yeah, I haven't seen it yet. I'm still looking for it because I got a lot of character art here. That whole start bit was a lot short. Yeah, we have now passed the part where I have planned things very well, so we'll see how things go.
Ooh.
Hell yeah.
Okay, that's
Things don't plan well. Love it. It's the best.
Yeah, and then where's Thea? There she is. Boom. And that's what she looks like.
All right, let's simp, gamers.
Let me check.
She walks
Yeah,
out with
I agree.
Do I roll simp check?
She walks out with confidence in her stride, and as you're kind of thinking about why did I don't understand why your attention is immediately drawn to her, and she says, "Well, you ready to go on this rally tonight, Ace?"
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, it's. Can't ask for it, dude. Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay. Cool car, by the way.
Thanks, it's a classic.
Thanks.
She jumps in the passenger side, and you start the engine roaring again, and then it backfires as you zoom off into the Chicago streets. As you're driving, do you say anything to Thea? Or do you just let yourselves linger in silence?
He's clearly pretty confused here.
Yeah, I'm very confused. I'm kind of like questioning. Yeah, I'm kind of questioning on. Well, I'm driving obviously, but I'm kind of like trying to think back if I can remember how I met her. But I don't want to come off as rude, and she makes me a little nervous, anyways.
For sure.
I'm like, how is this like first? Like, how did I even like? Why is this cute girl talking to me?
It's a mystery. It's a real mystery.
Let alone even being in my car. But I'm just trying to focus on what I actually have to do. And I kind of like fiddle with my USB stick that's in my pocket.
Okay. She'll say to you, well, I guess you enjoyed yourself the other night when you met me.
And yeah, could you explain what exactly we were doing last night?
She chuckles. She chuckles and she says, "Believe it or not, that reaction is fairly common with people who meet me. Well, we met at a place called the Succubus Club, and we partied all night." She smiles.
And I look down away from her, and then I look back at the road because I forgot I was driving. And I'm like, so was I drinking?
Oh, you were drinking, among other things.
Okay. Then I ask her. So, did I ask you out for the date today?
Yeah.
Or tonight?
Yeah, you don't really know why. You were just like, oh, I've got this thing to go to. Hey, do you want to come with me? And then you're like, hang on, I don't really know this person. What the hell? It's all very confusing to you why you asked this person and why this person, like, she is beautiful, but she seems to have this weird effect on you. Really weird effect.
Okay, and then I said, well, when I do get there, I actually had to meet up a friend real quick. So, I'm not ditching you or anything. I'm just trying to be nice. I mean, I don't even know what I'm saying. I gotta meet some friends over there real quick, and then I'll go and find you after.
Well, actually, I was going to ask you, like, what are you doing going to some university gathering? I mean, I've got friends at the university. I hang out there all the time. But what are you doing there? You trying to scope out some other girls? Is this friend another girl?
No, I care about the cause. You know, I really care about what they're trying to protest.
Yeah. Well, and she kind of looks out the window at the blurring lights around you, and she says, "Well, from what I hear, it's not exactly about the cause and more of an excuse to party. But you know, students, right?" And you look at her, and you're like, students. She looks like she's about student age. Like, is she not a student? What?
Yeah. They ask her like, "Are you? Do you know anyone over there? Is that why?" Or
She nods and she says,
like, "What do you know about it?"
She nods
just ask her
and
what she knows about it.
she nods and she says, "Yeah, I know some things about it. I've got a lot of friends, as I said, at the university. She like leans in close to you. I'm not a student there, but I dated a professor there once or twice.
Shoot,
that doesn't bother you.
I start getting nervous. No, it's cool. I'm cool with it. That's cool. And then I start like kind of like filling my fingers on the steering wheel, like both hands, kind of like a student driver kind of situation.
Yep.
And then I nervously say, "So, what do you do for a living?"
Oh, you picked me up from my place. That was my parents' place. They're fairly well off. So I have some of their money. But I dabble in my own things, you know, selling certain things to certain people. If you get my meaning, and she taps her nose.
Oh, you know, like schneef, like drugs. If that's cool, I'm cool with that.
But you should be cool with it. You took quite a lot that night.
I did what?
You took quite a lot of that night. You were head first.
Cocaine?
Among other things, yes.
Damn. I must have been really drunk. I don't remember anything from that night, actually.
Well, as I said, that effect tends to happen to people that hang around me. Believe it or not, I'm quite a party girl. But, come on, I can tell there's something going on. Has it got to do with your CIA friend? The one that you told me about? Is there something going on at the university?
Nah, nothing like that. It's just a regular hanging out with some friends, you know, just chilling, really. I haven't seen a friend in a while, so yeah. And then I turn on the car radio. I turn on the car radio. It's like, yeah. And I just focus on driving.
Yeah, you kind of feel her deflate as you deflect the question, but she doesn't pry any further, and the rest of the car ride is kind of awkwardly quiet. But meanwhile, we are going to cut over to the Mohawk, where James has arrived. It is a small pub in Chicago. Tough-looking punks inside this place. They all kind of glance at you, James, and just give you kind of a knowing nod. They know when they've seen somebody else who is in the life. And Sex Pistols plays from the jukebox. The bartender is a man with a rough face who eyes you up, James, as he cleans one of his glasses. But you are approached by a big, stocky man with a beanie, an Asian man with tattoos all over his arms. And he just looks at you and he says, "You here for Genghis?"
Yes.
"The name's Louis Sheng," and he puts his hand out. "But you can call me Lulu."
Right, I'm James Bax, I guess.
All right, James. Well, listen, I'm waiting for some stuff to arrive right now. Come out back and meet the other guys. I'll come see you shortly. He brings you to a curtained off area at the back of the pub where you open it, and you are assaulted by a thick plume of smoke. The atmosphere within is thick and heavy in the secluded room. A number of tough-looking men and women in leather talk amongst each other in the room, with a table in the center where a number of people are playing poker. One of the men at the table grunts heavily in annoyance before leaving the table. And when he leaves the table, you actually see a gap in the table, and you can see the person at the head of the table is what looks to be a boy. African-American boy with cornrows in his hair, and he's got piles of chips either side of him with a big old grin on his face. And as he sees you enter, he just says, hey, you, do you want to play, do you want to play some poker?
No, I don't want to play poker.
Are you sure? It's a really fun game.
I'm pretty sure.
Whatever, your loss. And he continues playing with the remaining people at the table. Now, you're in this room. It's a very awkward situation. You're obviously you're not an outsider. You've recognized some of their faces from Anarch gatherings, but you're not really friends with any of them. None of them offer themselves to talk to you. So what do you do while you wait for Lewis to arrive back?
You see, we just look around the room, scope everybody out.
Mm-hmm. Well, first thing you notice is clearly Devin not Devin, you don't know his name yet. The little boy is a pro at poker, cleaning out the whole table. He's constantly winning round after round after round, with a smug look on his face every time. But do you also notice that there's quite a few friends here and quite a few names in the Anarch circles that aren't exactly huge hitters, but they've done a few jobs here and there. But that's as much as you notice. Eventually, Lewis returns, and he comes in and he says, "All right, come meet me out in the alleyway," to everyone in there, and everyone follows to the alleyway. I'm assuming you join as well, James?
Yes, he joins.
Okay. As you arrive out, you see a van there. He opens the door of the van, which has a number of duffel bags inside, and he's like, "All right, here's the deal. Do you all know why we're here?" As he asks and waits for somebody to answer. Nobody immediately answers. Do you answer, James?
Well, you say no, I guess.
Mm-hmm. All right. So listen up. We're gonna be hitting Chicago University. There's a big rally there happening tonight, and that's gonna cover our tracks. The Ivory Tower, those fucking pricks. They got a whole brainwashing thing happening down in the basement, and it's something called the Eternal Academy or something. So, what we need you to do is we need you all to go into specific areas designated by the instructions in the bags and basically fuck shit up. Let them know that the Anarchs are not to be fucking messed with. Y'all understand?
Yes.
Good. And he kind of starts throwing bags at people, and eventually he throws a bag at you. At this point, he'll also say, "Oh yeah, and also there was something about Genghis wanted something about this girl called Mercy. If you find anything about somebody called Mercy, pick that up. You might get some extra points with him." The boy kind of goes up to you and says, I don't know if it's a good idea.
Why isn't it a good idea?
Listen, my name's Devin, by the way, and he puts his hand up.
Okay, he would shake his hand.
But do you have a name?
Yep, James Bax.
Okay, James, let me level with you. I go to the Eternal Academy. And, look, I was the one who told Genghis about it all and about what's going on down there. And I don't know, I'm a little afraid. that the prince might be angry with me. And I don't want to... Look, I couldn't give a fuck about the prince or Cretius. I don't give a fuck about them. But Damien, the sheriff, he's a good friend of mine. I don't want them to hate me.
What am I supposed to be saying here?
Just whatever your natural response to the situation would be.
Well, I guess my Ash wants just to be take the bag and go away.
And he's just like, fuck, Jesus. And he just kind of looks down and just dejected, he kicks a can in the alleyway. And you walk away, opening up your duffel bag, I'm assuming, to see what's inside. And inside the duffel bag is a crowbar with a number of spray paint cans. And the specific instructions for you are to go to the philosophy wing, find the secret entrance to the Eternal Academy, and cause mayhem.
Okay, that's better.
So, with that, you head off to Chicago University. And that is where we're going to move to next. Chicago University is abuzz with activity in the courtyard as the students and faculty members are well in the hundreds. Some of them hold protest signs. Actually, you know what? I couldn't find much like party music, and I was like, I can't be bothered finding ones to download, so a bunch of random gothy beats it is. In the courtyard, faculty members and well in the hundreds. Some of them hold protest signs, while in a large majority, those in attendance are taking advantage of the party-like atmosphere within the rally. There's a makeshift stage where a DJ is currently playing heavy bass as heavy bass pulsates through the courtyard. It seems like this rally is less of a protest and more of an excuse for students to get drunk and party. In the courtyard are a number of burners spinning fires around them in glorious displays of athletic prowess. This section has gathered quite a crowd. People who are high on illicit substances sit transfixed, watching the fire dances. So, Ace, you arrive in your Ford Mustang. Your car is purring as you are in the car park. Actually, you know what? Let's change scenes to the university.
Probably lower the music a little bit.
Yeah. I'm just gonna turn it down. There we go. Okay. So yeah, you're in the parking lot, and Thea looks at you and says, "Well, I guess we're here to do whatever mysterious work you want to do, or meet up with your friends."
Sorry, I can't hear you. What?
That's very loud.
Is it still loud?
Yeah, I had to turn it down.
It's loud for me, and I have it down at like 20%.
All right, let me mess with some things. Let's turn that way down.
Just put it on
Way
front
down.
or something, dude.
All right,
But
there we go.
now it's completely off.
Now it's off.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
Yeah, now it's off. Okay, there you go. Awesome, cool.
Oh, that's so
Oh,
Sorry.
I could hear you. Oh yeah. All right. So now that we moved to the halls or something, I could hear you now. What would you say?
I just said I hope. Hang on, my shit is changed here. I just need to quickly give me 1 second. Okay. So, sorry. Let's restart that. She says, "Well, I guess we're here. So I guess you've got to meet up with your friends or whatever it is that you've got to do."
Yeah. I have your number, right? I think. No, you have mine.
Yeah, you've got my number. Yeah. Hey, listen. Before,
All right. Cool.
Before you go, did you want to? And she like grabs out her handbag and then pops out a little bit of powder on her knuckle. Do you want to have a little hit for the road?
I really can't right now. But thank you though. Also, what's your name?
Believe me, you want to.
Yeah. I said. What's your name?
Thea.
Cool, Thea. I'm cool actually. I think that was a one-time deal. appreciate it, and then I run away, like awkwardly run, and I turn back. So I'll text you.
Let me just
And
quickly
I'm like,
check
damn, I'm late.
something.
So I was like, damn, am I late? Am I late? Yeah.
Can you give me this is the first dice roll of the game. Can you please give me an intelligence plus composure roll, please?
How do?
So you'll see like
never
little
used
buttons
this.
next to the traits or whatever. You just click them, and then you just from the drop down menu you put in the next one.
My traits.
Yeah.
And the character sheet.
Yep.
Okay. All right. Can you tell me that again, please? I need a what?
Composure plus intelligence.
Composure plus intelligence. Composure's at 2. So do I roll composure and intelligence?
Yeah.
All right. Second attribute, intelligence. Okay, I see now. All right. Do I put any modifiers?
No modifiers. 3. Okay. As you go to leave, you're like, no, thank you, no. You suddenly feel that warm feeling inside you again, like you kind of want to do whatever this person says.
I kind of want to do what you say, actually.
Well, take a hit.
And then I take a hit. And then when I do that, oh, go ahead.
Yeah, so as you go and snort up the cocaine, you've had cocaine once or twice in the past. You don't make a habit of it. You don't really remember that night either, but it's never hit you like this before. It hits you like a ton of bricks, and you almost feel like you're in this euphoric state. Like you're letting everything slip away. But as you're kind of flowing in this ebb of amazing feeling, you find yourself back in the car, kind of a little bit drained and a little bit exhausted, and Thea is nowhere to be seen. Was she real? Perhaps she was a figment of your imagination this whole time.
And then I think to myself, am I a drug addict? Was I hallucinating her? Okay.
Huh? You feel a bit tired at this point. You're just like, wow. Like it feels like you felt fine before, but it feels like you didn't sleep enough at right now. But it's fine. You get out of the car, and what's your plan here?
I have to hit up my friend I have to see where he's at so I could continue with my plan.
So you don't know if your friend is here or not. You just know that they were taught that during a drunken night he told you that something big is happening at Chicago University, and you have also found this thing at Chicago University called the Eternal Academy that you have no fucking idea what that is, and you're like, are these two the same things? So your friend doesn't actually know that you're here.
That's why I text him.
Yep. So what do you text him?
I text him. Are you here? That's it. Are you here?
Are you
No,
here?
Yeah, he would know I'm talking. He would know what I'm talking about. Are you here?
He just texts back a confused emoji, just like, I'm at home.
And I put a mad emoji. Like, what do you like? What the fuck? Like, WTF? What do you mean at home?
Well, I'm at home.
What? And then I texted back, dude. What did we just talk about a couple of nights ago? About this internal whatchamacallit?
An Eternal Academy.
And you're at home. You're the combat. You hyped this thing up.
As soon as you text that, you get a phone call back, and the phone call, he says, "Hello." It's,
Wait. Yeah, who's this?
it's funny. It's Daryl.
Oh, sorry. I'm a little tired right now. I can't see straight.
He says, what are you talking about? This, and he kind of whispers, Eternal Academy. What the fuck are you talking about?
Bro, you were telling me that something big's happening tonight at the Eternal Academy, and I don't know where the hell is it at, but I heard it's here, but I don't know where to go, and I thought you were going to be here, and we're going to go check it out, both of us.
Give me an awareness plus wits, please.
Awareness plus 1?
Wits.
It's
Wits. Okay, wits plus, the modifiers plus 1.
Yeah.
no wits and
awareness.
awareness.
Yeah, I said awareness
Okay,
plus wits because it's backwards on the sheet.
So wits and awareness plus 1.
No plus 1.
No
Oh,
modifiers.
okay. Wits and how do I add the awareness actually?
You have to do it the other way around if you're doing a skill, which is really stupid. But yeah, so you got to go to awareness first and then do wits. Yeah, it's really stupid how it's like that. But
okay, that doesn't make sense. But yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
Okay, awareness, wits, submits, submit.
Nice.
You hear people in the background of this phone call. You hear like a bunch of, from your limited exposure to the CIA, you hear a bunch of CIA talk.
Why is my name Gordy on this thing?
Because your name is Gordy on the character sheet because you didn't change it. You only changed your character name.
Oh, you serious? I see. That makes sense. All right.
If you click edit at top right, yeah, you can change it.
Yeah, I got it. Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
All right.
So you
And
hear,
what do you say? I heard some say.
you hear a bunch of like people talking in the background that they sound like they're talking about missions and ops and can we get a camera up here, can we do, so it sounds like he's not actually home, he's with a bunch of CIA people.
I said, bro, are you fucking with me right now?
No, I'm not
I could hear. I could literally hear everyone from work behind, like in the background.
I'm not fucking with you. You need to stop. Okay? I may have said something when I was drunk. I shouldn't have fucking said that. But you need to drop this right now.
Bro, you're so unbelievable. And then I hang up. Can I hang up?
Yeah, you can.
All right, I hang up. So I'm gonna go look for this shit myself.
Cool. So where are you gonna start?
Where I'm gonna start?
Mhm.
I'm gonna look for a computer lab.
Okay, cool. You head over, maybe question a few people like, hey, where's the computer labs? And you eventually find the direction of one and you make your way towards there. Okay. Now, Alina, you have been at Chicago University for a little while now, just waiting for Fanny to arrive. Hiding in the shadows, I'm guessing.
I have a question.
Yeah, go for it.
Can I not take a 30 seconds break to go to the toilet?
Yeah, go for it.
Thank you.
La toilette.
All right, well, we'll head over instead to T. So T, you arrive at the university. It's, as I described it before, there's hundreds of people, faculty and school members, just some of them partying, some of them genuinely trying to do this rally, but like being ignored mostly by all these people partying in the courtyard. But what catches your eye? What?
I'm gonna ignore everybody.
You're gonna ignore everyone.
Yeah.
All right,
Everybody.
Okay, what are you doing then?
I am going. Well, I make the logical connection in my head that to find a philosopher, you need to go to the philosophy department.
Okay, so you just head straight to the philosophy department.
I find, which is pretty common in the university, a map of the campus, and I find the philosophy department. I ignore everybody on my way there. Fuck them. Straight there.
Okay, easily done. As you're walking around with the people around you, you're not. Wait, actually, what's your hunger level? It's 1, right?
1.
Yeah, okay. Oh, actually, yeah, okay, I'll get to James after this. So as you're walking around, people around you kind of bumping into you, but you're just walking past. What catches your eye slightly is the fire dancers. And it's not so much that it catches your eye that you're interested in it, it's more it catches your eye, and then the beast inside you can feel recoiling at the fire, this one thing that can kill you. And so you make a mental note, keep your distance when walking around there.
Fire bad, that's the note.
Yeah, but you make your way and find some maps. Meanwhile, Elena, I'm assuming you're going to be hiding in the shadows.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. All right, so you're hiding in the shadows, waiting for Fanny Fannin to take the stage. And eventually she does, which is led by a bunch of cheers from the drunk patrons who are very much enjoying their night out tonight. And you watch her as she performs, and she's singing songs about rebellion and about sticking it to the man. And it's kind of like this awkward thing where like everyone's like, yeah, stick it to the man. But everyone's just partying, not doing anything when like the actual protest is here. So it's kind of this weird dichotomy in your head of like, why? Okay. But they're enjoying it either way. But as you're watching the stage and you're watching her, give me an awareness plus wits, please.
So I roll awareness and then wits, right?
Yep.
Attributes, wits. Modifier 0. There we go.
Cool. You're a little bit distracted by your sister playing, but you notice just in enough time that although you're hiding in the shadows using your powers of obfuscate, there's this guy that is making his way towards you, a very tall, scraggly man, but he's making his way directly towards you. What do you do?
I move around to make actually sure that he's coming towards me and not maybe someone behind me. And if I see he's really coming toward me, I start running.
Okay. He's definitely coming towards you, and you start running, and you just hear behind you, wait! I just want to talk.
Yeah, but I'm in obfuscate, so how do he saw me?
He kind of walks out. He's like, because we're kindred spirits. I have the sight.
I'm still reserved about talking to someone I don't know. So the running goes for quite a while until I'm kind of out of breath and cannot process anymore. So I just stop, but take my distance. Like I have a knife in my pocket, so I reach for my knife in case of. Yep. And then I listen to him, to whatever he has to say. Yeah.
So he's kind of chasing you, and you kind of say like, you shouldn't be able to see me, and that's when he says like, I've got the sight, and you're just running, and then eventually you kind of get cornered, I think, in like one of the alleyways or the little areas in the university, and he's just kind of walking towards you. He's like, I don't want any trouble. I was just wondering what you were doing. I've never seen you before. My name's Dr. Benway.
And I'm Alicia, so I'm lying about my name.
Yeah. All right, Alicia. Lovely to meet you. I've never met you before, but that's why I wanted to come and talk with you, because I'm here to make sure that this whole protest is going to go without a problem. And I saw you and I thought you might have been a problem.
I'm not looking for a problem. I'm just here to enjoy the protest.
Yes, well, that's good to know. Listen, have you ever met Annabelle before?
That doesn't ring a bell to me.
She's the Toreador Primogen. She's a lovely, beautiful lady. But I'm here on her behalf to make sure this all runs smoothly. This is her event. So, I don't want any people causing any mischief, but I can see that you're hesitant to talk to people. So if you promise me that you won't do anything untoward, I will leave you alone.
Well, you can leave me alone because I'm not doing any trouble here. I don't even know why in the first place you target me.
Well, because you were hidden. I mean,
Well, that's because that's how I am.
Yes, but I'm trying to find people here who might cause trouble, you know, of the Anarch type.
Never heard of them.
Yes, well, you don't want to mix yourself up with them. They're a bunch of Masquerades, if you ask me. But I think, look, I will leave you to it. All right?
Okay.
Just, I wanted to make sure. He sort of backs away very slowly.
Just leave me alone and I will leave you alone too.
Very well. And he sort of turns around and he slowly walks away and he stops before he completely leaves. And he turns around and he's like, by the way, I might be assuming a little too much based on your attire, as he points at your clothes, your sort of, they were tattered robes, weren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, he points at your tattered robes. But you wouldn't happen to be interested in things of the occult, would you?
Why would you care?
Well, personally, I don't. I just run a small bookshop that deals with antiquities, and I thought you might be interested.
Well, you piqued my curiosity, so just tell me where it is, and if I have the time, I will drop by.
Of course. And he reaches into a pocket, probably making you tense for a moment, thinking he might grab out a gun or something like that. But he takes out a card and he just kind of puts it on the ground in front of him, and he backs away and he's like, it's called Benway's Antiques. It's in the loop, you won't miss it. We've got lots of tomes there. If you want me to be honest, we just don't have anyone who can say whether or not they're occult items or not. I don't have that disposition to me.
I'm not sure I can help, but we'll see how it goes. I will drop by. Can't tell you when, but I will.
Very well, thank you. And he walks away.
Bye-bye.
So do you just go back to watch Fanny?
Yeah, I grab the cards and I go watch Fanny again to take a few pictures. And in the meantime, I'm considering the proposition of I forgot the name, but the guy
Dr. Benway.
Dr. Benway, who stalked me, kind of like run after me. So I'm thinking about going to that occult place, but for now I'm staying at the university.
Okay. So, James, you're at Hunger 3, aren't you?
Yep.
You wanting to feed before you get to the university?
That's probably best, yeah.
Yeah, okay. Just give me a... so this will just be on the way, because you're an alley cat, aren't you?
Yep.
Yep, so just give me a brawl plus strength, please, as you find someone who's just kind of drunkenly on their phone, standing next to an alleyway, just kind of texting, and let's see if you can grab him and pull him in an alleyway.
How do I do this?
So you just, next to brawl, there should be a button, press the button, and then it will bring you another drop-down menu where you can put strength.
Oh, I see.
Okay. Alright. Give me 1 second.
Oops.
No, I'll just go with that first one. That first one was 3.
Okay.
Give me 1 second as I look up what we could do here. I didn't get my dice out because I'm an idiot. Okay. 3. Okay. Easy done. Alright, so you pull this guy into an alleyway, and before he can even scream, you put your hand on his mouth. And you sink your fangs into the back of his neck and you begin drinking, and you feel this near you can taste the alcohol in his system. This man is very, very, very drunk, and you just continue drinking, and you drink for how much are you going to drink for?
I don't know, like a minute, I guess.
Well, sorry, in terms of like game mechanics, how many dots are you wanting to remove from your hunger? You can only remove up to 1 unless you want to kill the person, then you can remove it all.
Oh, just 1 then.
Yep. So you remove 1, but as you are drinking, the beast inside you is just whispering within your head, "More. Give me more." And I need you to roll me a willpower. So next to willpower, there should be like a willpower button that you can press.
Okay.
All right. So as you feed off that one, I will say you can feed 2 fairly safely without this guy dying. He'll just be a bit weak and probably not straight away. So are you just going to do the 1 or are you going to do 2?
We'll just stick to 1.
Yep. So just take 1 hunger off, and you manage to pull yourself off the guy fighting the beast inside you, but you still feel this guttural feeling within inside you that you are hungry and you need food. So until you next feed, where is it? It's combat, by healing mending, antagonist. There's no. I shouldn't have closed the page. Compulsions, there we go. Until you next feed, we're into any action towards anything other than your hunger until you reach hunger 1 is incurred a 2 dice penalty. So in the modifiers from now on, you're going to have a -2 until you reach hunger 1. Because the beast is inside you, and all it wants is to feed more blood. But you manage to stop yourself from either completely draining this guy or drinking too much. But you leave him in the alleyway as he's just like, and you continue on towards the university. Now, when you arrive at the university, do you remember what the note said that I told you about?
Go to the philosophy department and mess things up, I guess.
Okay, cool. I did mention the philosophy department. You go to the philosophy. I believe it was go to the philosophy department, find the secret entrance to the Eternal Academy, and fuck things up in the Eternal Academy. So I assume you're going to do something very similar to T, where you are going to look for a map, and you're going to find where the philosophy department is. It's not very hard to find. But what I am going to say is while you are on your trek, you do come across each other. As perhaps T, when you arrive at the philosophy department, you see that it's all locked up.
Hey, wait a minute, 1 second. My character's illiterate, right? How's he reading this note?
I'm going to say you asked someone to read it for you. I forgot about that.
Okay.
Actually, yeah, because you wouldn't even be able to read a map. But you'd be able to see like the pictures on a map, but you wouldn't be able to read philosophy department. So what I'm going to say is you found a map, but you're trying to decipher it, and in fact, you bump into T. When you're like trying to find your way, like how can I get in here? You see some other dude kind of just looking at a map, trying to figure it out.
Well, I just want to make it easier for you, Chris. I'm gonna ignore him. I'm sorry. He's gonna be ignored. This is what happens when I showed up. I'm stuck on this one thing, and it's the only thing that matters. I don't care about anyone else.
Okay. Well, then how are you going to get into the philosophy department?
Can I either roll awareness or investigation? See if there's any easy
go for it.
Access routes. Which one?
Yep. Go investigation plus wits. Wits, yeah. Okay, so here's another mechanic that we can do. So one thing you can do in this game is you can burn a willpower in your willpower track, so change one of the green boxes into a slash to re-roll up to 3 normal dice. So so you'll see here you've got a 9, a 7, and then 2 5s. So those 2 5s are failures. So you might want to re-roll those if you want higher than 2, unless you're happy with 2.
I am happy with 2. I'm gonna devoid your little. I'm gonna fuck you.
Okay,
2 is fine.
cool. Smashing a window is a good way to get in.
Do that then. I'll find the closest window. I walk up to it like a complete weirdo. I sort of run, depending on how big the window is, I don't know. I run my finger along the rim of the window, all meticulous like, and then I just punch it.
Cool. All right. I'm gonna say, as you're like looking through a map, you hear glass shattering, and you see this guy has punched a hole in the window of a nearby faculty. Do you react at all, James?
Yes, I go see what's going on.
Yeah. So as you're clearing out the glass, the guy behind you that was looking at the map starts to approach you. I'm assuming you're not going to interact with him at all. You're just going to jump in unless he sees something.
You know what, Chris? I see this open window. I take it as it is. It's an open window. I put my foot up on the windowsill or whatever's there, and I step in and I just ignore everything else.
Okay, cool. James, do you say anything?
No, he's just gonna follow.
Cool. All right, this guy is now following you.
Stalker.
Yeah, so you're just gonna ignore the fact that this guy's followed you inside. You're just like, yeah, that's part of the plan, probably.
Yep, 100%.
Cool.
I keep losing connection, by the way. So if you ask me something and I don't reply, that's why.
Okay, that's cool. All right, so Ace, you make your way to the computer suite, the computer labs. You get to the building. Before you even get to the building, as you get to the building, it's all locked up.
I'm gonna look to see if there's a way in.
So just give me an investigation plus intelligence, please.
Investigation plus intelligence. Investigation plus intelligence. Damn, my successes are real juicy right now. I need some real juicy successes right now.
This one's probably too loud as well. Isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, a little bit.
It's really annoying because the master volume, it should. Okay, so if you guys go to the settings in Roll20, you should be able to change the volume in the settings. Because I assumed it changed the volume for everyone, but it just changes it for me, I think.
All right, I lowered it. I think it should be good.
Yep.
Okay.
So you got 5 successes. Cool.
Oh, yeah, that's fucking juicy.
Yeah, you see it and you're like, yeah, I could probably figure out a way to unlock this. It's just a simple electronic lock. You've probably got a bunch of I'm assuming you got your laptop with you, right? Like in a backpack?
No, what I have is I have like a deck of cards, but it's not a regular deck of cards actually. It's actually electronic cards. Mm-hmm. And they're just a bunch of different things I could do with them, like a variety of some of them are some of them have like a chip on it, some of them I could kind of flip, or it's like a credit card, just different kind of cards that could do different things for me. So I pull out a card, and is it a keypad or is it a?
It's a swipe.
Then I get one card and I swipe it, and when I swipe it, I just hear like the numbers on the keypad are like just pressing. So it's kind of like a brute force method without actually getting caught, and then it just types different combinations and then finds the right one. So I do that.
You're able to get in.
Yeah, and before I get in, I put from my jacket, I pull out these glasses, and then I press on it. And when I press on these glasses, it turns into like a lens. So it has like 2 settings on, like shades or a lens. And what these do is pretty much any like camera that gets on my face, it just masks my face.
You got resources too, right?
Right. And I also work for the CIA.
Yeah, I'll allow it. All right. So you walk forward through the hallways, eventually getting to the computer lab. What are you going to do when you get to the computer lab?
When I get to the computer lab, I'm gonna check to see if there's any like corner room that has like a card scanner or something like that. I'm just investigating to see what's in the computer lab. Just investigating the computer lab itself.
Bunch of computers are in the computer lab.
So just computers, nothing else?
Yeah, just computers. Yeah.
All right, just computers. All right. Then I just go in. I go in and then I start observing the area, making sure the coast is clear.
Yeah, no one's around. It's completely dead here. Everyone seems to be paying their attention to the party outside.
And I look to see if there's any cameras.
Yeah. In fact, you've been looking around. You're like, there's no cameras around here.
Oh, okay. So if there's no cameras, then I go straight to a computer. I unplug the internet cable, and then I boot it up. Like I have it on boot.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm in the boot settings. I plug in my USB, and then I boot to start with the USB. So pretty much what it's doing is I'm installing like a toolkit. This toolkit pretty much puts in a bot that, well, not a bot, but it runs scripts like a malware. And the first thing I want to do is to hide pretty much myself, like if any, like pretty much kind of covering my hacking, any traces. Yep. As soon as I'm able to spoof my IP and spoof like a regular user, regular login, I plug the Ethernet cable back in, so I have access to the internet now.
Yep.
And once I do that, my toolkit is now running a malware to get any like keylogger security access. And the main thing I want to do is access the server and try to see if there's any data in there that talks about anything with the philosopher or the room that I'm pretty much looking for.
The Eternal Academy, yeah, is what the keyword is that you were looking for. You go through and you find the server's got there's a bunch of mundane shit, bunch of mundane university shit. I will need a technology plus intelligence roll +1 from you.
Plus intelligence, and the +1, is that a modifier?
That's your specialty, yeah.
So okay, I'll add a +1 on the modifier. It's a bit. Oof.
All right. Do you want to burn a willpower to re-roll 3 of those dice? So you change one of your boxes into a slash. Yep.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Yep. So there should be a button saying willpower re-roll or WP re-roll.
And I re-roll 3 dice. Okay. Submit.
4 successes in total. Cool. All right.
Right.
Yeah. So as you're just finding all this mundane shit. There's not a lot there, and as you are looking through, you actually find that there is everything. Like the security at this place is a fucking joke. Like you start thinking in your head, maybe I could start selling them a little bit of better security after this. But there is one secure folder in particular that is proving quite troublesome to get into.
All right, so when I do find a folder, I want to double check to see if the firewall, because the firewall detects any network presence that are not supposed to be there or not. And I know that the CI is looking at this area, looking at the, like into the school or whatever. So I'm pretty much trying to hide to kind of show that no one's actually accessing the server. Yep. That it's just like that. Do I have to roll for that? Or well, it's part of my toolkit though. It's not something that I actually have to do, so it's actually part of the program.
Okay. All right. Well, you notice that it's not the program isn't working the same when you like. See, I don't know enough about computers to know how this would how you'd know this, but basically, trying to like this is like this. Basically, this is like a really special file. And you know that your thing isn't going to work straight away. You need to do some quick work to get it to work.
I'll tell you this about computers. When you have a toolkit installed and once it actually accesses the server, it's nearly impossible for anyone to actually see, like, even know it's even being checked or infected. Like the toolkit's like the holy grail of hacking, essentially.
Okay.
But if I'm having issues with it, is it something to do like what is blocking me? Is it an encryption? What is it exactly?
It's an encryption. It's basically like, as I see it, it's like the whole security system here is Swiss cheese, except for this one thing, which seems to be somebody else seemed to have worked on it. Somebody who is far more proficient with technology, and you're just hitting wall after wall after wall trying to access it.
So if I'm getting wall after wall, so it's a decryption. So it's probably gonna. If it's like that, then it's not really anything I could do about it without blowing my cover, because I can't brute force it. I'm gonna go check the network. Actually, I'm gonna check the network to see how many people have access to this particular file.
Okay. Only one person has access to this file. A user named Salt.
Interesting. Okay. So my next move is I'm gonna spoof this person's account. So if it's somebody is accessing, that means they only have the special permission to access it. So I'm gonna use the toolkit to spoof the account.
You managed to do that, and you've spoofed. I'm just gonna say you've spoofed the account. So you're able to. So you're gonna check inside the folder and see what's in there.
Yeah.
Okay. Basically, you find blueprints and a bunch of like folders inside this folder with a bunch of files on various people with different names. And you're scanning through, and you actually see a name in there that's familiar. You see Celia Rivers.
Why is it familiar to me?
Because you are looking into the disappearance of Celia Rivera. And while you were looking at the dark web and getting in those internet relay chats, the name Celia Rivers came up as a new recruit for this Eternal Academy around the time she went missing. So you're like, the names are very similar. It's probably the same person.
Right. Okay. So is it a file?
Yep.
First, I probably want to download everything, actually.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to download everything.
Okay. You download everything onto a small pen drive, I'm assuming. But you also notice that there is, in the blueprints, because you're looking through some of the blueprints, the philosophy department. It appears like this place is in the philosophy department.
Can I check to see if there's any security cameras there? So I'm checking the network to see if there's any like connections.
What's interesting is there are security cameras there, but they're all shut off.
Is there a way where I could turn them on manually? Is it like through the network or
no?
Shut off hardware. In like what way? Like
hardware.
Okay, so they're powered down. Hardware powered down. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so it's like, all right, that's I'm like that's super suspicious, super shady. So I think I got everything I needed on there. I looked at the blueprints to see how I could get there from my location. Or I look at this school map compare.
Yep. And then
I shut off everything.
Cool.
I shut off everything, and it makes it seem like I never even was there to begin with.
Mm-hmm. And like that, Mr. Robot disappears into the night. Getting lots of Mr. Robot vibes with that. All right. So James and Tony. So James, you're following this guy around that you don't really know. You just know he broke a window and he's in this department, which you're assuming is the philosophy department. You look around and you see all this pottery around everywhere. What are you gonna do?
Is he still in the room with me?
Well, it's up to T. What's T doing?
I am squatting on the floor, with my hand straight down to the floor. My hand is like this, and I seem to just be in deep thought. My eyes are closed. I'm doing nothing of the sort. I'm not even moving or twitching. But I would like to roll investigation. Just immediately out of the gate, I would like to roll that.
What are you trying to investigate?
I am trying to see if there's any immediate things that stand out as suspicious or unlike the environment that they are in. Essentially, has somebody been here before me and done a little bit of snooping? Is everything out of place, etc.?
All right, give me an investigation plus wits. James, while this guy is just kind of squatted on the ground, you're just kind of standing there like, what the fuck?
Is he taking a squat?
Hey, enough of that. I guess he would have followed him because he caught his attention because we breaking the window. But now he has attention. You might as well just do a practical and ask him, "Is this the philosophy room?"
Do you respond to? With your one, it is a philosophy room.
I'm re-rolling that. Shut up. Okay, I spend a point. Do I just press the reroll button? I presume so. There you go. That's.
Oh wait, no. It's WP reroll.
Okay, gotcha. Do that. Reroll 3. Is that going to affect the last roll? I presume so, but it should be okay.
4. So 4 in total. All right. So first of all, you hear, "Is this the philosophy department?" And you're like, "Yes, it is the philosophy department." But you also hear footsteps. Maybe 4 people in a corridor and somewhere in the distance.
Suspicious. Also, I hear James go, "Is this the philosophy department?" And I go, "There's a person in this room." In my head, I don't say that loud, but I'm just like, "Oh, there's a person here." Okay. Okay, weird. Is there any indication that they're walking towards the room, or am I just hearing footsteps?
You're hearing footsteps. You can't with a 4. You can't quite discern where. You just know it's somewhere in the area.
Okay, I'm just gonna stand up then from my lovely squat. I sort of grunt as I do so. Just a little grunt. And I suppose I will try and find maybe a computer. I'm not entirely sure if the computers will be on at this point. But I'll literally just walk over to a computer and start pressing keys unknowingly, knowing what they're doing. Just gonna press keys.
Yeah. So what's happened is you've broken into a classroom, and each classroom kind of has a computer that's connected to a projector, and so there is a computer there, and you've just started smashing at the keys. It's off. I mean, assuming you know how to turn on a computer, you can easily turn it on.
It tells me more when it's off than when it's on.
Yep. So yeah, basically you've asked, "Is this the philosophy department?" And this guy is just going to go onto the computer, it's like in this computer that's off, completely ignoring you.
And you said there's pottery there?
Yeah, there's pottery in the room, like display cases.
And he's here to mess this place up?
Yeah.
Well, then I just
specifically, he's here to mess up the Eternal Academy, which is somewhere else. Like it's like the secret door to the Eternal Academy is somewhere in this department. You just don't know where.
Okay, well then I take a pottery and I smash it to get his attention.
All right, pottery smashes. Do you react at all?
Some pottery was broken. Seal. I don't care. Okay. If he's not specifically going out of his way to hurt me or to stop me from doing what I want, I don't care.
In fact, when you smash that pottery, James, you hear a deep booming voice somewhere in this wing say, "What the hell was that? Damien, Alexa, go investigate."
Surely I heard that as well, right?
Yeah, like both of you do. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, See, we just investigate, see what's going on.
I have a little bit of a question. How easy is it to use powers on demand, like disciplines?
You can just use them, yeah.
I can just use it now
What power are you thinking?
if I want to. Well, obfuscate.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I'm
All
gonna do
right.
that.
Wait. So specifically for obfuscate, I'm assuming you're wanting to use unseen passage. That requires a rouse
Correct.
check.
Okay.
So you might gain a hunger, but you'll. Yep.
Fine.
You gain a hunger. Hunger goes up. The beast inside you is like, you need to feed, but before you, James, this guy just disappears.
Yeah. Well, I guess he would be getting out of there too. There's people coming, and this guy's a vampire. He just disappeared too. It's time to get out of there.
Back out the window, or do you go into the corridors?
I mean, might as well just go back out the broken window.
All right, you go out the broken window. All right, back to Elena.
Yeah.
You're just watching the performance happen, and everyone seems to be really into Fanny during her performance. And she's finished, and they're all yelling, encore, encore, encore. And she obliges and starts an encore. Meanwhile, a beat up van drives up and stops nearby. The sliding door to the van opens, and you see. So you haven't really interacted much with other Kindred in Chicago, have you?
No.
Okay, so you wouldn't know who this guy is, but basically he is a sort of tall, bald guy with a safety pin through his nose and with a leather jacket, and he's got a baseball bat over his shoulder. And behind him, a bunch of other people come out, and they kind of look at the crowd. And one of his other guys that are with him passes him a megaphone, and so he grabs the megaphone and he says, "You all should be fucking ashamed of yourselves. Trying to protest against injustice and you're all partying? We need to stick it to the fucking man." And when you saw the crowd before, they were all cheering for Elena, but suddenly they just quieten down. Like they're being entranced by this guy screaming into a megaphone. And they all kind of turn around and they stop paying attention to her. She stops playing, very confused with what's happening. And he's like, "You're all here listening and singing Kumbaya while the world is all going to shit. Singing this fucking bubblegum crap isn't gonna do anything. Stand up and do something for yourselves." And sure enough, the people start looking at each other and they're like, yeah, fuck this music. Fuck her. And they turn back around to the stage and they start grabbing things and throwing it on the stage towards Fanny. Rocks, all these things. Do you react at all when this happens?
Well, I'm stalking her, but I have a deep hatred towards her, so I kind of jubilate from the reaction of the crowd towards her. So I'm not actively playing too, like I'm not throwing rocks or anything, but I'm watching in the shadow, waiting to see what unveil and if she managed to get out or anything. So I'm still in the shadow in obfuscate. I'm trying to not be seen, but I kind of start feeling uneasy because there's a lot of people, there's a lot of action and things like that. So I'm kind of also backing off the scene.
Yeah. So the demeanor, and it's this weird thing because the demeanor of the crowd was very jovial literally a second ago, and now suddenly they're out for blood. They're just screaming and throwing rocks, and then eventually somebody comes on stage and starts ushering Fanny away towards another building nearby.
I follow.
As you follow, you see. Okay, so James, when you get out of the window, where are you going once you leave the window?
He wants to use stealth to see who's coming after him, I guess.
All right.
He would want to know Yeah, his threat to him.
Okay, so we're going to rewind time a little bit before the whole riot is happening out there, and you're kind of listening in, and eventually you give me a stealth plus composure check.
Okay. God, I keep hitting the skill first. Wait.
Some stealth music in here.
Oh, I messed up. Right. Okay, composure. I have what, -2 modifier, right?
Yeah, -2 modifier. 3. That's pretty good.
Hell yeah.
So you kind of hidden, and you're kind of keeping an eye. There's a window inside the room where you can kind of see what's happening in the room, and you see a African American boy wearing a band t-shirt walk out with a girl with long blonde hair, and they're kind of investigating, and you hear one of them say, "Ah, shit. Looks like some kid probably smashed up the window, got a little too excited." And the girl just kind of leans back and just is like, "Yeah, whatever." And Tony, you see this as well, because I assume you're just staying in the room.
Well, presumably this computer has a office chair.
Yeah.
I obfuscated, and then I just took a seat, and I'm just like, "What's up, bitches?"
Yeah.
Waiting for these
So-
people to show. Risky, but paid off.
Yeah, and he's like, "Alexa, you see anything?" And she kind of looks around. Let me just see what
You
she's
bastard.
got.
You bastard.
Okay. I need to figure out what role this is.
Oh, I'm done. I'm dead, boys.
There it is. This is how my story ends.
Just because I didn't leave the room, I'm fucked.
Okay, give me a wits, an obfuscate plus wits. So in your discipline, there should be like drop-down
Yep.
menus. Yeah, and so just wits plus discipline.
I just pressed the discipline roll button, right? Because wits is already selected in it.
Yeah, as long as you're clicking the one that is at the very end of the box.
Yeah, to the far right. Yeah,
Yeah.
Oof.
that's not good.
Okay, so this girl sort of scans the room, and she just locks eyes with you. And she just says, "Yeah, we're fine, Damien." And then turns around
Thank you.
and leaves. But
You
swear
said locked eyes, by the way. Well, I'm ignoring him. I'm ignoring both of them. But
Yeah.
you know.
But you do notice that she was fixated on your area for a
Yeah.
brief amount of time, that you're like, that's a bit... No, there's no way she could have seen me. But they walk away. Meanwhile, we'll fast forward to the riot that's happening. This riot is kind of starting to happen, and Fanny is being ushered into the philosophy wing of the building. Ace, as you're making your way to the philosophy building, you notice, like, you were there before during the party, and everyone was jovial, but now everyone's yelling and screaming and trying to get at this singer. And she's being ushered into the building that you want to go into.
Okay, well, I would probably inconspicuously follow.
Okay. Gonna try to slip by with the detail.
With a detail, what do you mean?
The security detail for this this person that they're trying to... So basically it's like a security detail around this person that is like trying to block them from all these people trying to get at her.
Did I slip by them?
Yeah. Did you want to try to slip by them to get into the building? Because they're kind of at the door of the building right now, trying to push through as this crowd is kind of forming around the
Is there a way where can I look for like a side, kind of like a detour to go around the whole mass of people?
Yep. You go around the mass of people, but before you do, James, you notice that the two people walk away out of the room. Do you go back inside the window?
No.
Okay. At this point, the rally, the riot has made its way towards the philosophy building. You notice this. What do you do?
Am I able to just go to the philosophy room then, if I see these people around it?
Like go through the window, or like try to...
Is the window the only way into this philosophy thing?
From what you can tell, yeah. There's probably other entrances, or you could pick another window somewhere else, or you could try to... do you want to try to find another way in?
Yeah, I think you should try to find another way in.
Okay, give me an investigation plus plus wits.
Investigation plus wits.
And while that's happening, Alina, I assume because you're like kind of in the shadows, you're going to try to sneak into the building as well as... yeah.
Yep.
Cool. 1. The window seems to be the only way.
Alright, go back in the damn window then.
Alright, you go through the window. And as you go out, you hear the voice from a few corridors down say, "What the fuck is happening out there? Alexa, Damien, make sure the Eternal Academy is alright. Go down."
Well, there you go. I can just follow them.
Yeah. Cool. All right, we're going to say that you're just following them. Alina, how are you going to get in? Do you want to do an investigation plus wits to try to find an entrance, or?
Yeah, I'm gonna do that. So, investigation plus what?
Wits.
Wits. 3.
3. You're able to find a door around the back. Do you have any lockpicking skills?
I think I'm weak on that. No, I don't have lockpicking.
Okay. Let me think of
Let me
any
check.
other ways that you can get in. Just bang at the door. Let me in.
Might work. Roll a persuasion. There's somebody there to persuade.
Oh, I'm so bad at persuasion, like I have 0 points.
Okay, no. I've got something. All right, so you try the door.
Okay.
It's locked. But you do notice that the campus security is around and are currently trying to deal with this crowd that is formed. So you could possibly try to sneak up behind them and grab the keys that are looped on their belt.
That sounds like a plan. I don't have any others anyway.
Yep. So just give me a stealth plus dexterity for that.
It's a 2.
2. Yeah, I mean, like they're already at like the difficulty is already lowered because they're like very distracted by all of this that's happening around them, and they're getting pushed and whatnot, and so they don't really notice when you grab the keys as you kind of time it a little bit as they're being pushed.
Okay. Cool.
But you do have some keys and you're able to get in. Meanwhile,
Nice.
Ace. Oh, sorry. Did you have something to say?
No, I'm good.
Okay. All right, so Ace, there's this huge fucking commotion happening outside the philosophy department, and you're trying to look for another way in, and you're kind of going around the crowd, and you notice one of the windows seems to be broken.
I have the blueprints of the entire school, let alone the actual how to get in. So I look for the most optimum path and safest.
All right. Okay, look, going by the blueprints in your head, that the broken window leads into a classroom, which is fairly, like, it's probably one of the safer ways unless you wanted to try to get in through another doorway somewhere. But all the doorways seem to be crowded by, like, all the front doorways seem to be crowded by people. But there is also the back doorway as well, which you could try, but you do know that's a traditional key lock.
Traditional key lock? Shit. Traditional key lock. Do have some larceny.
Oh,
I'll try the key lock.
Lose.
The back way.
Cool. So you make your way around the back. Because you do have skills in, like, lockpicking, don't you? I'm pretty sure.
Right. I have one larceny.
Yeah, you start sort of like, all right, how do I was taught this by somebody like a long time ago, and you start to think about it. And as you go to check the lock, you kind of push the door a little bit, and it just creaks open. It was already unlocked by somebody who went through it before with a set of keys.
So I try to lockpick it, but it just opens by itself?
Because somebody went through that door not too long ago.
And I kind of sit there kind of confused, and I'm processing whether that's a good thing or a bad thing. So I was like, well, this could be a trap. So I put on my glasses.
Cool blue glasses.
So I put on my glasses, and then I kind of just peek in to see if I see anything. Is it dark in there?
It's pretty dark in there, but you do look in and see, and you can hear some footsteps around, but you're not too sure. It's quite a distance away, these footsteps. But Alina, when you entered the building, where would have you gone?
What way have I gone?
What's
Is
that?
the question?
So you entered in through the back way of the building. So the commotion is at the front. What would have your plan been as soon as you got into the building?
Tracking, forgot her name, but tracking
Fanny.
the girl. Yeah, Fanny. Tracking Fanny. So I'm trying to follow noises if there's any. So.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So basically, you'd want to make your way to the front. Where she was kind of being funneled through to try to, like, they were trying to get her in. Yeah, okay, so you make your way to the front so you don't see this guy peeking in. Ace, you're looking around, you don't see anyone. You do hear some footsteps in the distance, but that's quite a wee way away.
Okay, so knowing that I'm safe, I try to head to the control room to power up the cameras.
Okay. So you follow the blueprint. You probably have a copy of it on your phone or something like that you're kind of like referencing, and then we'll go with that. T, what you doing?
Okay, first things first, right? I made note, though I was ignoring them, I made note of their names. Okay, so it was Damien and Alexa, correct?
Yes.
I also made note that Alexa paid some attention to me, regardless of game mechanics and etc. I would like to have followed them, but I feel like that's probably a stupid idea. I think I wait a few minutes and then I attempt to follow them.
In fact, you see James, the guy who had followed you in here, doing the exact same thing, and you're kind of, the roles are reversed now, where you're following him, but he has no idea that you're behind him.
Can I like walk up right beside him and just stand beside him?
All right,
Just
James.
obviously ignoring that he's there, but I'm gonna be like, just like walking along while he's sneaking. But I'm just
He's just very casually. James, you managed to see the two, the Alexa and Damien, go up to a wall that's covered with Greek artifacts. They pull a lever, and the bookcase just kind of opens, leading to a passageway down, and they make their way down. I'm assuming you will follow.
Yeah, just continue following them.
Okay, yeah, you continue following them. Meanwhile, T, you're looking around, kind of like, okay, I think this is where I need to go. Not too sure. But what's your abilities?
Dominate and obfuscate.
Okay.
Presence.
Okay. You feel the strings in your mind, the cobweb, as it were, kind of pluck, pulling you back, like kind of pulling the back of your head back a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah. Potentially telling you maybe turn around.
This is a tough decision. Fuck, this is tough. Do I just leave?
It's up to you.
So where am I currently? I'm standing beside James, presumably.
Yeah, as he's waiting around a corner, probably monitoring what Alexa and Damien are doing, and they're doing exactly what I mentioned before. They're pulling a Greek artifact, and a bookcase opens, leading to a staircase leading down. But you feel...
So I can see this happening.
Yes, you can.
Okay, well, I'm just gonna leave then. I'm gonna take note of that, and I'm gonna leave.
Leave, like turn around and go to the...
Turn around and go back the way I came. Yep.
Okay, cool. All right, Ace, you're kind of sneaking around, trying to find where this control room is. You've got a fair idea where it is, but you reach an office where two people are inside, and you kind of duck down to try to stay out of sight, and you can hear a very angry conversation happening inside, and this is what you hear.
Oh, he's got sound clips.
No, I actually don't. I wish I did have a sound clip for this, but that's okay. I'll just have to act it out. We need to understand what the hell is going on here. We need to quiet this mess down. We know Wainwright has a soft spot for you. What I'm saying is use it. And then the other voice says, the Anarchs are not a problem. I assure you the Academy is safe. I don't give a fuck about your Eternal Academy right now. I got bigger things in my mind, namely my fucking city. This is a way we can make sure that the Anarchs don't fuck up what we got. You hear? I understand, but lying and manipulation is no way to calm the situation. I have it under control. You call this out of control? Don't you come to me and tell me that you don't think the Anarchs are behind this mess. We tried it your way. We even twisted Annabelle's arm with your scheme to calm things down. Jackson, I am your prince. You will do what I say. You misunderstand if you think this is a request. This is an order. Now, we tried it your way. Time for me to do it my way. You dig? So, I'm assuming you were just kind of around a corner, like just listening to this whole argument happening. T, while you're going back, you see this boy. You see the boy kneeling down near this room, and you hear that conversation as well.
Wait, who am I seeing?
You're seeing Ace, the boy.
Okay. Do I hear this conversation, or do I just see him spying on a conversation?
You hear the conversation too, yeah.
Okay, well, I'm gonna take note of that then.
Oh, yeah, quick side note. My glasses, they have a camera to record and audio, and it goes directly to my phone.
So you're looking straight ahead. He's behind you. Okay, you won't see that. Okay,
can I see the two people? Like the two people who are having the conversation?
Oh yeah, if you're an obfuscate, you can just walk right past them and sort of see who it is.
Can I do a quick insight roll then?
You give me an politics plus intelligence, please, and I'll have to DM you the answer just because there's some spoilers here.
Politics plus
intelligence. Give me a sec so I can see what that roll was. 2. You definitely recognize Prince Kevin Jackson, Prince of the sorry, give me a sec. Prince of the Camarilla. Don't quite recognize who the other guy is though.
Yep, continue with your...
Yep. So, actually, as you move forward, are you paying attention to your phone as it's recording, or are you just kind of watching it with your own eyes, Ace?
I'm watching with my own eyes. I already know it's recording.
Cool. All right. So you notice a man walk out of the room, very angry. He's got broad shoulders, bald head. He's black, and he just straightens up his tie, and he's just like, "Do it my fucking way, then, you fucking piece of." And he opens a phone, and he's like, "Yeah, we need the big guns. Make sure it's done." Closes the phone and makes his way out the opposite way of you. So he's not going to walk past you. He's going to be walking away from you. But it's all on your little phone. Alina.
This one.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, you're at the entrance. You're hiding in the shadows. Fanny is eventually funneled in, and she's just kind of straightening herself. She's like, "What the hell happened?" To her bodyguards, and I was like, I don't know. That who knows? We just need to get you somewhere. We'll get you in a classroom, and they'll move her into a classroom, and I assume you'll just kind of follow discreetly, shadow to shadow. Yeah.
Yes.
Cool. All right, James, you make yourself make your way down the stairs, and as the two are walking around, you notice you're in the Internal Academy. Do you break off at this point and because it's a corridor down at the bottom that forks off to the left and right? They go to the left. Do you go to the right, or do you continue following them?
Yeah, I would break off and go to the left.
Okay. As you break off to go to the left, you open up the zip bag, I'm assuming, grab out the spray can, start shaking it, and start doing some of that because that's not too loud. Because perhaps you're going to be worried that destroying stuff around here while these two are walking around might be a little too loud. I don't know. Maybe you do want to destroy stuff. Up to you.
Well, he's just here to spray paint, so he would just do that.
Yep. So you start spray painting around until you hear footsteps again and a voice. The voice from the woman, Alexa. She's making her way to the stairs, and you kind of hide. Give me awareness plus wits, please. Obviously, -2 again.
Awareness.
Yeah,
plus
awareness
wits?
plus wits. Yeah.
Okay.
Check your DMs, by the way, Chris.
Oof.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, no, you don't really notice anything. You just hear her say, "Yep, I'll let Damien know. I'll be up there soon." She closes her phone and makes her way up the stairs, leaving you alone in here to perhaps do more mayhem. Do you take the opportunity?
Yep.
start smashing stuff, grab the crowbar and destroying things around you. Fuck the cam, sort of spray painted on the walls.
Usually you can't write that, but yes.
Yeah, true. You start, yeah, it's just a bunch of scribbles on the walls, but you're like, yeah, I'm pretty sure that says fuck the cam. And so you're going around just destroying stuff. And as you reach one room, you realize there's someone on the ground. You just see the shoe of somebody who is on the ground in one of the classrooms. You haven't quite seen who it is yet. Whether or not you peek in to look is up to you. But you do see a shoe of somebody on the ground.
Yeah, you would investigate.
Yeah. You peek in and you can see the shoe. Give me... No, you should know who this person is. You see the Sheriff of Chicago, Damien, staked here in this room. But before you can react, you hear something clatter to the ground nearby you. Turn around and you see somebody else is here with a balaclava over their face. They've dropped something and they just turn around and they run away from you.
I guess you just pick up what he dropped, right?
You pick up what he dropped. You've seen this before. It's a little mechanical timer that are usually put on explosives. Somebody's put explosives here.
I guess it's time to go then, right?
Time to get the fuck out. Meanwhile, Ace, as you are still waiting for the second person to leave, the door bursts open and you hear this screech. And this man, this old man with a beard, rushes towards your direction. And before you can react, you're face to face with this guy. It's like he moved at supernatural speed and he's just looking at you with this look, this scowl on his face, fangs in his mouth somehow, and he's just looking at you. What do you do?
I fall backwards on my ass into my back and I scream "fuck!" and then I start fiddling with my my holster to pull out my gun.
You're pretty fast at getting your gun normally. You've had training for this kind of circumstance. Even if you're surprised, you have half a second to get your gun out. And you're confident you can do that. As you reach to grab the gun out of your holster, the man has suddenly gone from a little distance away from you to right in your face as he's got your arm, moving at some kind of superhuman speed and holding your arm with a vice grip. He reaches forward and bites into your neck.
Oh fuck! I just make a howling yell.
What's that?
I'm here, I'm just watching this.
You're just like, huh? Okay.
I'm knelt up against the wall and just like.
You feel immediate ecstasy.
What a hero!
You feel immediate ecstasy as as the guy bites into your neck and the world just fades away around you. You're reminded, actually, of when you saw Thea earlier tonight. It's a similar feeling. It's like he's giving you some kind of drug you've never had before. And then you drift, and you drift, and you drift. James, you start running out, and as you're running out, you... Let me timing this. Okay. So, as you're running out, you see this man, kind of a shadow of a man looming over somebody who is lying down on the ground. And before you can really tell who it is, he just disappears in a flash. And now there's a guy on the ground pulsating and shuddering.
Joe's method acting, by the way. Just lying all the way back.
I'm dying, dude.
You know, just keep going. Why would he care about this?
Yeah, that's fair enough. T, the boy has been embraced by this guy that you don't really quite recognize, but you think you've seen him somewhere before, and he is turning right before you. What do you do?
Is it safe to approach him?
Oh yeah, he's just kind of like spasming on the ground.
Don't
Yeah.
do this. Yeah. Being the kindred soul that I am, I will approach him in my obfuscated form. I'm not entirely sure how the rules work, but could I possibly, because he's in the middle of a hallway, right?
Mm-hmm.
Can I drag him into an empty room?
Yes, you can.
Okay, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna drag him slowly into another room, so he's just being pulled by an invisible force.
Well, actually, because that would break your obfuscate, to be fair. You can still do that. It's not like there's anyone around.
Fucking internet, dude.
So he's
So wait, what are you doing? Because it's going to break your obfuscate if you drag him.
I couldn't hear any of that. I lost connection.
Oh, okay. If you drag him, it will break your obfuscate.
That is fine. I will accept that.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to retcon something slightly. So James, you arrive as the guy who broke in to the place before you is dragging this sort of shuddering and spasming boy into another room. Do you warn him about what you have discovered?
Yeah, I would warn him.
Yeah.
The place is about to blow, get out.
So that's what you hear as you're dragging the guy away. You're like, place is gonna blow, get out.
I ignore him.
Okay.
Cool.
That would be doing my job.
I'm dragging him with one hand, right? The other hand, I'm twiddling my crucifix in my hands, just around my neck. I'm twiddling it, just to give a sort of implication that I feel like I should help this person who's in pain.
Here's a question, James. Do you yell out, "This place is gonna blow, get out"? Like, do you yell that out loud?
No, I would just tell him because I've seen him before.
Okay. Cool. All right. So, suddenly, Alina, as you are going from shadow to shadow, just kind of observing, got her name, Fanny. As you're observing Fanny, suddenly, the floor below you begins to rumble. You hear a loud bang.
That sucks.
You have half a second to respond to this. You are near a window. You can quickly jump out, possibly jump out with Fanny in your arms if you want to save her. But you can tell that there's an explosion beneath your feet.
All right. Let me think for a second. Do I save her or no? She's kind of the center of my stalking, so I'm gonna save her if I can. What do I roll for that?
You don't have to roll anything. You don't have, because it's
Okay.
fairly simple. You just run up, and as it's like, it almost takes a half a second as she just notices you, and then you just grab her and you throw yourself out of the window. with her as the building
Nice.
begins to explode. James, you manage to jump out as the building begins to rumble beneath your feet. T, as you're dragging Ace out of into a room, you sure enough feel that like there's an explosion beneath you.
Yeah, I probably should
Ignores
ignore
that.
How much time would you say I have?
Well, okay, so this is how it's gonna. So it's not just one explosion. There's like multiple explosions. So it's gonna take multiple explosions to bring this whole place down. So I'm gonna say you have at least maybe a minute to, no, maybe even shorter than that, 30 seconds to make a decision here.
Do you think I'm strong enough to carry this convulsing boy on top of my shoulders?
Yep.
Yeah, I will. As I hear the explosions, obviously I'm the most perceptive person on the planet. I hear explosions. I go, oh no, explosion's bad. I pick up this man who is now still severely convulsing. I put him on my shoulders. I grunt as I do so, and then he starts shaking on my back. And I'm like, stop. That's the first time I
Stop my gun, by the way.
Stop.
Oh damn, that was bad.
But yes, that's an important moment. This is the first time I speak. The only thing I say is stop, and then I try and leave the building whatever way is
Yeah.
fastest.
There's a window nearby that you can just smash through or open up if you've got the patience to do it, but you easily do.
I'm gonna kick it and I'm gonna jump out. Sure.
With this convulsing boy on your shoulder.
I'll probably drop him when I hit the floor, I'll be honest. He's probably getting dropped.
Yep. So you get out, the building starts exploding, the crowd is going crazy, police have now arrived, there's riot people around, everyone's confused, it's chaos out here. James, you're just gonna fucking go back home, I'm assuming. You're like, this was fucking weird, I'm gonna go back home.
Get his job, time to go.
Yep. Saw some fucked up things. What are you doing, T?
Depends how long he's convulsing, but I suppose I'm also going to go home with this man on my shoulders.
Cool. He actually, yeah, he'll still probably be convulsing for a bit. You do notice a really nice looking Mustang, though.
I fully understand what's happening to him. I can't drive.
Is it because you've got no skill in drive?
So, well, my character doesn't know how to drive.
Okay.
It's not something I thought for that guy.
Okay.
Yeah, so I fully understand what's happening to him. I know what's going on. I know based on experience that it's going to take a while, and I'm not going to leave him out in the open. So I just take him home.
Cool. All right. I'm gonna say you are able to do that. Alina, I'm going to assume what happens is you smash your way out, and before she can even recover, you disappear again.
No, I actually take her to my haven through the sewer.
Okay. Well, that is interesting. Okay. All right. All right. Well, I think I'll roleplay that a little bit. So you smash your way out. She's just like, what's happening? Who are you?
Well, I quickly remove a piece of clothing to shut her mouth.
Mm-hmm.
And I go through the sewer as fast as I can until I reach my haven. Because if I start carrying a girl with something in her mouth, people will notice me. So I go through the sewer, and basically it's a kidnapping.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah,
I'm already
so much.
thinking about what I can do with her, so we shall see.
Okay, all right. There's so much chaos happening around. Nobody really notices this because the sewer grate is nearby, and you can just quickly duck in. I do have a question for T though, because you are dragging a convulsing man.
Oh, he's still on my shoulders. Well, he presumably fell, and then I picked him back up.
Yeah, but like, how are you gonna make it so nobody really stops you or notices you?
Well, I mean, what have I said this whole game, Chris? I'm just gonna ignore it. I'm just gonna ignore it.
Okay. To be fair, actually, because you live in Lawndale, which actually isn't that far from Chicago University, from what I know.
Plus, I mean, there's a huge riot and there's explosions going off. Nobody's gonna.
It was just more after you got out of that area that I was more concerned with. But I think you know some of the back streets and some of the. Actually, just give me a stealth plus intelligence roll.
I don't have any stealth.
Or alternatively, a streetwise plus intelligence roll.
Okay, streetwise. You can do that.
Just how well you know the streets and how well you know one. That's good enough. That's good enough. It's good enough to probably someone noticed you, but you're just so obsessed with this one mission of saving the boy that they're just like, what the fuck's going? Well, there's also that going. What the fuck? And with that, with everyone going away,
I don't look like I have any ill intent, so I think people will just let it be.
With that, with everyone returning to their havens after this very strange, very explosive night, there's one thing that the Kindred of Chicago know after tonight. Chicago is not going to be the same. And that is where we'll end our session 0.
Nice. That was cool.
That was cool,
He's
man.
not going home with somebody, but me and Ali are.
Not like that.
Joe is not mine. It's written in lore. He's mine now.
Or when I come boy.
I deny everything.